Hey there! Today I'm going to be taking you through the process of how I make one of the most versatile and best-selling rings in my shop. I'm only going to be using some very basic hand tools in this one, so you really don't need anything fancy and you don't really have to be good at jewelry making either. What makes this such a versatile design is that you can completely customize the inlay as well as the resin color, but we'll get to that. I often go to a small pond in my neighborhood where I collect these tiny little flowers. I believe they're called Bur Clovers and are supposedly a weed, but they are so cute and dry very, very well. So I like to use them in some of my pieces. So I make the ring using full round 12 gauge sterling silver wire, which I've measured and then cut to length according to the size that I would need it to be. I then filed the edges of the wire as flat as possible using my file. I then anneal it with my little torch to be able to easily bend it, and I then prep it for soldering. I'm using a hard solder here to ensure that it is a strong enough joint. Once the ring is soldered, I go ahead and shape it round using my mandrel and a rawhide mallet. I then focus on creating the half dome at the top of the design, which I cut using my disc cutter and then shape on the doming block. This is 0.5 sterling silver plate. I then need to solder the dome and the ring together, so I file a flat spot on the ring so that there is a bit more area for the dome to sit. And then, also using hard solder, I solder the two together. And then throw in my pickle solution for about 20 minutes. And this is what it looks like right after pickling. I then clean the ring up with a bit of fine sandpaper. And then it's time to mix up a small batch of resin. I will be dyeing the batch a milky white color. The next day the resin was cured, which meant I could give the ring a complete sanding. I also sanded the inlay part of the ring to make sure that the UV resin will adhere to the white resin. And when the flowers were completely dry, I picked out a couple of my favorites and then checked which one will fit in the shape the best. I chose this adorable one. I then added UV resin, placed the flower and then semi-cured it, and then added a big drop to completely cover the flower and create a nice dome over the top to add some dimension to the flower. I then made sure to push out any bubbles with a toothpick and then went ahead and popped them. And this is the polished complete ring. I also cast these in brass, which I sometimes make on a black background as well. The options really are endless, especially if I'm adding grasses or different types of flowers. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing, and I thank you for watching.